Hey there, this video is a response to a question from a colleague that I got. And he asked me this. He said, I find that finding truly unique things about our business is a tall order and can be stressful to figure out until we have years of experience in our field. I wonder what you think about this. Okay, so Jonah, this is for you. And I thought it was a good question, so I made a video about it. Right. I mean, it gets to this question about niching. You know, what's our role in the community? And that has a lot of elements to it. What we do, where we do it, when we do it, why we do it, for whom we do it, how we do it, all of those 6 things play a role in our niche. And this question of what is it that's unique and special in any one of those things, we may not know early on. It may be a while before we figure out what it is we actually want to do. We may have a bunch of things we try. We may try them in a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different styles, in different places at different times, for different reasons, for different people. That's true, and especially early on, the first few years of business is necessarily a lot of experimenting. So, right, it can create all this stress to find what's truly unique about our business. Well, there are a few thoughts here that come to mind. Number one is this sort of presumes people just start cold in their business and jump into it both feet first, when ideally, in the ideal world, which isn't always possible, people don't quit their day job. You know, people have some savings and have some time to experiment. The ideal situation is, yeah, you have your job, you start thinking about this, reading about it, you know, scheming on it for a while before you jump ship, and then maybe you go to part-time in your job, or you get another job that's part-time, and you start building this up slowly in a way that allows you to experiment, allows you to try new things. And then, you know, by that point, you've already got some clarity, some nub of clarity about what you want to do and how you want to do it. So that's number one, that we ideally are easing ourselves into this. Number two, in the beginning, it's really proper to date our niche. We don't have to marry our niche. And so you can see a few people, you know, you can see a few different types of clients, and you don't have to make that your brand. You don't have to name your business and you know, angry single fathers, you know, who are pissed that they got divorced and got the butt end of the deal and they got anger issues anyway. Like, that may be a big leap in the beginning, because that may just be one of the target markets you're working with, but it may not be the one forever. So instead of naming your business singledadcoaching.com, you could name it after your name, and just have a 10-day program you do called the Single Dad Coaching Challenge or something like that. You see, it can be you can do a little beta test, a little pilot program, a little niche experiment, something small that doesn't define your whole business, to just see if you like it. And you do enough of those, and then if you reflect on them, it doesn't actually take long to start to learn what you like and what you don't like. The challenge is people never do any experiments. They never test at all. They don't go on any dates. They just keep scheming about their ideal partner and wait for them to show up. But it's all abstract knowledge. You see, it's all in their head, so it doesn't match the real world. The best way, you know, is you just meet a lot of people and you see who you like and who you don't like, and it gives you a sense of what you're looking for, rather than trying to come up with it just in your mind, which is where crazy happens. So we try a bunch of little experiments in the beginning, and again, you can make money in those experiments. You know, you can still sustain yourself a little bit, but there's if you go to marketingforhippies.com/4-stages, Mark Silver talks about this, the 4 stages of business, and stage 1 is just experimenting. It's the creativity. It's the seeing, you know, trying a bunch of stuff out. But you've got to be able to sustain yourself during that time, because you're not going to be making a lot of money in that time, almost certainly. Because if you do a beta test, you're probably going to charge less than you normally would, so you've got to figure that out. Either your spouse will support you, you save some money aside, you work a part-time job, or you dramatically reduce your bills. You know, you live in a van down by the river while you build it. Isn't that funny? That went from a Saturday Night Live sketch to some people's actual dream. And then the third thing is you just got to start with what's clear. This is, I think, the first idea in my book, The Niching Nest. You have to start with what's clear. And even if you're just beginning a business, I promise you, you do have some things that are clear and that will probably stick around for a long time. And so it's good to just begin with that. You know, in terms of what's unique or special about my business, you don't know everything, but there are probably some things you do know right off the bat. And that's worth just meditating on, reflecting on. And it may change, but sometimes, you know, if it's clear enough, there's that. And then you just keep building the clarity. You keep deepening in the clarity over time. And the two things that will help you deepen the clarity, one is actually doing real experiments with real people. And then number two, reflecting on it. If you just do reflecting with no experiments, it doesn't work. But if you just experiment with no reflection, it also won't work. So you've got to do both. So Jonah, there's my answer to your question. If you have any responses to this or thoughts or questions in response to this, put them in a comment below, and I'll probably make a video about it down the road. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And if any of you have any comments or questions or thoughts, please put them below. You can check out my website, marketingforhippies.com, and I got a lot of free stuff there. And I'm all on Instagram, a bunch of free stuff as well. Check me out there. See ya.